Are you worried about cash flow in your business? Then this video is for you. Because in this video, I'm going to share how to solve cash flow problems as a new entrepreneur and avoid being part of 50% business owners who see the business fail in the first year. Hi, I'm Shishir. I'm financial transformation coach for female entrepreneurs who want to scale their business fast. If you want to solve cash flow problems and improve your financial confidence, then don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell right now so that you do not miss out on future new videos. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 advanced cash flow strategies in a sequential order so that you can solve cash flow problems as a new entrepreneur. I've learned this through my own experience through my transition from an employee to an entrepreneur in July 2009, and also working with ambitious entrepreneurs like you as a financial coach running businesses from 40,000 to 40 million pounds in revenue. So let's dive in. Step number 1, choose a high margin business sector. Business is a game of margins, and margins vary sector by sector. That is why it is so important for new entrepreneurs to choose the business sectors wisely. And this is the untold secret of cash-rich entrepreneurs. And there are no set rules for optimum margins. I would recommend choosing business sector that will generate you at least 15% net profit after paying yourself as a salary. Otherwise, you'll always be struggling and juggling for cash flow. Most entrepreneurs are so eager to get started running a business, and they start up with the businesses with least amount of friction and low barriers of entry. And most of these businesses have very low margin. That's why at every month end, there's hardly any cash left for them, and they struggle to understand why. If you are one of them, get out of that business as soon as you can. You may have come across a quote from Mark Cuban: "Don't follow your passion, follow your efforts." Such a profound statement. So don't follow your passion if your passion takes into low profit margin business. Instead, follow your efforts and follow your margins. So go after sectors where margins are very high, where you can become better by putting in efforts. Software consulting sectors that lean on emerging trends like AI, machine learning offer very high returns. My passion is playing guitar, which I still do to feed my soul, but I'm good with numbers, so I became a financial coach. Let me help you understand better with an example of my clients. Company A is in travel business, which generated revenue of 7.2 million last year and a gross profit percentage of 8%, which means gross profit were 576,000 and the net profit was 14,579 pounds. Whereas Company B, which is a marketing agency which is operated by two partners, generated sales of 1.2 million pounds with gross profit percentage of 75%, which the gross profits were 900,000 pounds and net profits were 495,000 pounds. Because of high margins, Company B wins over Company A big time with 33 times more net profit despite having 6 times less sales revenue. In such a situation, when cash is tied up in debtors and stocks, Company A is always going to struggle for cash flow. So as a new entrepreneur, when you want to set up a new business, you have to choose the sector wisely because sector makes a difference. Step number 2, seek alternative source of funding. You can sell equity in your business to raise debt-free investments. Your business doesn't have to be huge or in a new age industry. There are sector-based angel investors looking out for very good returns on their investments. It takes some effort to find them. When you do find them, you should have your value proposition and the problems you're solving as an entrepreneur, which is different, and you should be able to differentiate from others. The best time to raise funding for your business is actually when you don't need it. Just like you approach the bank to raise funding for your business, you would do the same to raise funding from an angel investor in your business. Let's say if you want funding in October, start the process in March so that you can reach out to more angel investors and you will be able to negotiate better terms to secure funding for your business. If you want further advice on this, check out this website, Y Combinator. They provide funding advice for entrepreneurs. You can also get funded by your customers by starting a Kickstarter campaigns. And this has dual advantages. Not only you are able to secure funding for your business, but also you have a proven concept because people are buying into what you have to offer. In this case, by going down this route and you're able to secure funding for your business, you should be really proud of yourself and perhaps you should give yourself a pat in the back. Step number 3, set up a limited company. In business, it's not about how much cash you generate, it's more about how much cash you keep. Setting up a limited company provides you tax incentive to pay lower taxes as compared to self-employed. And this will give you greater flexibility in terms of managing cash flow in your business. For example, limited company pays taxes on profits. If the profit is 0, then tax on 0 profit is 0. You only pay personal tax when you extract profit from the business, i.e. dividend payments. So if the profit extraction is less, is low profit, low dividends, then equals low tax to pay and equals low cash outflow from your business. So by setting up a limited company, you not only have a greater flexibility, you have more control and how much and when you can extract profit from your business so that you can ensure your business as well as personal survival. If you are operating as a self-employed business, then you have to pay tax on profits regardless of whether you have taken cash out from your business or not. So more tax payments equals more cash outflow. So set up a limited company instead of operating as self-employed business so that it gives you more chance, more flexibility and more control and solve your cash flow problems in your business. Step number 4, set up a Cash VAT system. When you have registered for the company, then you should also register to pay sales tax on cash basis. This way, you only pay sales tax when you have been paid by your customers and you only claim purchase tax when you have paid your suppliers. This way, you will be able to avoid cash flow problems in your business because of timing of payments. One of my marketing agency clients, he was operating on standard sales tax system, which just means that the business had to pay for sales tax regardless whether the business has received payments from its customers, which has very negative impact on its cash flow. Why try to solve a cash flow problem when you can avoid it? Step number 5, structure your business for generating cash flow. Do you want to know one of the most common questions I get asked from new entrepreneur? It is this: Shishir, why does my profit balance doesn't look like my cash balance? These entrepreneurs are hungry. They are making sales. They are making profit. But the problem is they do not have enough cash to pay supplies on time. No, they don't have enough cash to pay salaries or even for personal survival. They cannot pay these bills with their profit. They need cash, and they can solve this problem just by structuring the business model in terms of cash in and out. And if you are this entrepreneur, you can solve this problem too. Let me explain. One of my clients who started in 2005 is currently doing £8.6 million in annual revenues. He sells luxury sofas. So his business model is collect now and pay later, which means that he's collecting the payments from his customers and he's using that cash to pay supplies on time. This way, he avoids the cash flow problem. And this can work for you even if you are selling services as well. You can apply the same principle model in your business. As an entrepreneur, you are a problem solver. So you solve problems for your clients. So when you're solving problems and your biggest pains of your customers, they are more likely to pay you upfront because they want to get rid of the pains rather than keep hold of the cash. So you can ask for a deposit and then to pay by installment, or even ask them to pay everything upfront before you start the work. And then you can pay your bills in line with what cash you are going to receive phase by phase basis. This model has worked for this luxury sofa retailer for 15 years, and this will work for you as well and solve cash flow problems in your business before it even arises. Step number 6. Set up a cash flow forecast. Imagine you are driving on the road and you are only looking ahead of you, and there's a chance that you're not able to notice potential hazards in front of you because you are in four-wheel vision. Further, you can look ahead while driving. You have more time to react to potential hazards. You can plan your journey and avoid a traffic accident. It's no different in business. Failing to plan for cash flow will lead to moments like, oh shit, I haven't got cash for this, what do I do moment. You can avoid such moments and eventually business failures by having cash flow forecast in place. Cash flow forecast will help you to see the problems that are waiting to happen in your future and save you. Step number 7. Use bank overdraft facility. In 2007, I started working with two founders who set up an SEO marketing agency. They started their business in basement of one of their parents. Their business took off and they're soon making revenues from $19,000 a month to $75,000 a month. In order to meet the demand, they hired more staff and moved on to bigger premises. Do you know what kept them going during this growth phase despite increased expenditure? The good old overdraft. It kept their business alive for 9 months, and by that time cash flow from revenue started serving their business growth. The best time to ask for a bank for an overdraft facility is actually when you don't need it. They'll be so happy to offer you at the time because they will think you at a low risk to them when you can show that your numbers are really good. So when you are in this good position, take advantage of this and get the overdraft facility in place, because every business has to go through the challenges of cash flow problems at some point. So when that happens, you can use this as a cash flow cushion in your business to avoid cash flow problems in your business. Step number 8. Differentiate cost versus investment. It doesn't matter if you are a newbie or established entrepreneur, there is always shortage of cash flow in the business, or at least in the minds of an entrepreneur. Even though they are cash rich, they prefer to have another zero to their bank balance in order to feel more safe and secured in their business. So use cash flow wisely. Cash is the energy, fuel in the business. It's not about what cash can buy, it's more about what cash can earn. Have you heard this expression, it takes money to make more money? If you have, spend more on investments rather than cost, and you are more likely to solve cash flow problems. I've never come across an entrepreneur saying to me, Shishir, I don't need to solve cash flow problems or improve cash flow in my business. Even when the entrepreneur doesn't have immediate cash flow problems, she wants more cash flow for the same level of sales in her business. So that's a problem. So spend your cash wisely on investments rather than cost, because that will bring in future cash flow in your business. For example, instead of buying a new company car, you could invest in developing and building a new system that will generate future cash flows, which is investment. So instead of traveling a business class on flights, you could hire a new consultant that will fix bottleneck in your business, move forward and generate more cash flow in your business. Step number 9. Shorten accounts receivable cycle. Do you want to know one of the easiest way to solve cash flow problems? Just shorten accounts receivable, which is the number of days your customers take to pay your invoices. In order to do this, you need to have effective credit control in place. So how do you have effective credit control in place? Is by sending invoices to your customers as soon as the work is completed. then following up with your customer to ensure that they have received the invoice and then they have included in the next payment run. By doing this, you would have shortened accounts receivable days. One of my clients who runs a recruitment company in London had £15,000 overdrawn account. Will, the founder says, "Shishir, I need to focus more on sales because my cash is so low." Will, you need to be focusing right now on debtors and people who owes you money right now. And Will just did that, and in 3.5 months' time, his balance jumped from £15,000 overdrawn account to £81,000, as most of the old customers who owes the money paid, as well as new invoices were paid in the first 10 days. So you need to shorten the accounts receivable cycle. And step number 10, pay suppliers just in time. Are you aware of Japanese just-in-time management philosophy? You can apply the same principle to manage cash in your business. I understand as an entrepreneur, you just want to pay the invoice and move on in your business, and you also want to build a good relationship with your supplier. I respect that, I understand that. However, if the supplier has given you a facility and flexibility to pay the invoice in 30 days time, why would you pay in advance? Let's say you pay your suppliers well in advance, hoping that you would collect cash from your customer in a week's time, but your customer doesn't pay you on time. Then you may run into cash flow problems in the following week because you may not have enough cash to pay your other bills in your business. So use cash wisely in the business. Use facility provided by your suppliers and just pay them on time. Learn to respect cash. It will respect you back. There you have it, 10 proven sequential cash flow strategies to solve cash flow problems for new entrepreneurs step by step. If you got value from this video, then like it and share it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss out on future new videos which I publish every Tuesday at 4 p.m. GMT. Your comments are my oxygen, so don't forget to comment below. I respond them all. Now, I would like to turn over to you. How many of the strategies I have mentioned that you use in your business to solve cash flow problems, or do you use any other strategies? Let me know by leaving a comment below.